Hello, fabulous Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of December 2017. Looking at life and love. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What an amazing month it is. We've got an active sky. We've got a full moon that has some sense of uncertainty, and it gives way to a new moon that is filled with optimism and hope and possibility. You add to this a moving Saturn and a very important meeting of Saturn and Venus. Well, you put it all together and it ends up being a very important time and an important way to end an important year. So let's take it one step at a time. In the first part of the month, we are going to have a full moon. Now, this full moon is happening in a financial part of your sky. It has to do with money that you earn and money that you spend. I want you to be a little bit mindful around this full moon, because at the same time, Mercury, on the same day Mercury is going retro, Neptune is speaking to this full moon as well with some tension. So it tends to suggest some confusion, some uncertainty. It also tends to suggest a need to be mindful of waste. I'm just going to try to be blunt about it, or try to be as frank about it as possible. But as I look at this, I mean, it just looks like you may end up spending a lot of money for something that really doesn't have to be spent money on. What you get may not be what it is that you're expecting. It could be that a financial opportunity shows up, but there are certain details there that really need to be clearer to you that may not necessarily. So just want you to keep some of this in mind, ask questions where possible, and give yourself space as well. So this is Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde in general, not the best time to be buying technology things and different types of purchases, but this full moon is only amplifying that for you. So really, especially at this full moon in the first part of the month, stay away from large purchases, stay away from buying technology. I mean, unless you want to have lots of return visits, unless you have a crush on somebody at the tech store and you want to see that person again and again, maybe. Try to space yourself out a little bit, at least where it comes to certain purchases. And I would also say with this is to be mindful also of a sense of making sure that you're not spending in order to substitute for something else. That's one thing you want to keep in mind. Now, what I love about being a human being is that you have tremendous power, you have tremendous agency, really. Like, we can have an amazing idea, there can be nothing, then we make it into something. We can decide that we want to be more prosperous and learn about ourselves along the way in that journey towards greater prosperity. And also we can decide what prosperity means for ourselves and live according to that truth. That can be part of the soul searching at this time. Maybe not the best time for huge implementations or dramatic changes, but certainly to go through a spiritual understanding, a spiritual journey, to observe can go a really long way to using this energy to your advantage. What I also really like about this part of the sky for you is that it does have to do with understanding self-worth and self-esteem and self-value. And this can be a time where, while you may not necessarily get instant answers, the answers are coming, but this can be where important questions show up for you that will find answers that end up being tremendously rewarding in every area of life. And those answers are coming as we get to the full moon. There is a full moon happening at the end, or rather in the late part of the month, and this full moon is taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with what we like to call other people's money. So things like grants, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns, benefits as well. But this part of the sky also has to do with a rebirth, if you will, like a psychological transformation is also emphasized at this time. And so as I look at this, this is such a powerful new moon. It is happening what we call conjunct the galactic center. So the galactic center is incredibly important in astrology because it is considered, and even in astronomy as well, it is considered the birthplace of the universe. So it is a sort of a heightened point in the sky. We've got a full moon here. We've got Saturn and Venus not too far as well. We've also got Uranus speaking in supreme harmony with this full moon. So it's already kind of jacked up because it's so close to such a sensitive point in the sky. But then you add to it all this other cosmic support. It does suggest that all of us, in at least one area of life, are going to be experiencing, in some cases, a dramatic new beginning, but certainly a sense of fresh possibilities and a sense of starting anew. And for you, that sense of rebirth, of starting again, of knowing what matters and knowing what doesn't, is very strongly supported with this sky. And I would also say, if you are having to connect with financial institutions, this is the kind of full moon that can have things going very well and to your advantage. So if you are waiting to put in that application for something, for finances, you want to wait until we get to the second part of the month, until we get to that full moon at the very least. And if you are someone who's going to be accessing this energy on the more emotional, spiritual realms, then stay open to the prospect of transformation, of dramatic transformation, in fact. And if you are engaged in any kind of physical or psychological therapeutic process, this can be breakthrough moments that help you to begin the next year much stronger, much clearer, and with a real understanding, not only of who you are, but who you no longer are as well, which can be just as powerful. Now, where it comes to matters of love, we have Venus for much of the month moving through a part of the sky that Saturn has spent the better part of the last 3 years in. Well, as we get to the later part of the month, both Venus and Saturn are going to move into fellow Earth sign Capricorn and meet in the sky. This is a huge moment of truth for a lot of people out there when it comes to matters of love. And for you, a lot of this moment of truth is going to play out in terms of values. Does this person that you're in an established relationship with share the same values as you? If you are someone who is open to meeting someone new, it could very well be a sense of if you are open to someone who has very different values than yourself. Now, for those of you who are in an established bond, this can, with Venus meeting Saturn, the great thing about this is it's the truth, like with a capital T, if you will. It likes you to be real with yourself. It likes you to be honest with yourself. And so if what you have is honest, is real, if the two of you are on the same page about life and about the world, that will be clear and the commitment will solidify. But if you aren't, then this is where you're going to have to see some of those, whether it's contradictions or whether it's just where it is that you are not thinking and feeling and believing along the same path, and then you can decide what it is that you want to do with that. For those of you who are open to meeting someone new, this can be a very interesting time of getting to see your own values and what really matters to you in a relationship and what doesn't. This can also be a time where you meet somebody who either on paper very much in alignment with what it is that you think you want, or on paper very much not in alignment with what it is that you think you want. And in the process of meeting this new person, you get to meet yourself and you get to see yourself more clearly and more deeply. For some of you, it may very well be that love feels like an international adventure. It feels like it wants to take you to different places within yourself, within your philosophies, but also in the world as well. So do keep that in mind. And that can normally be a lot of fun, but at the same time, there may be some realness there that ultimately will help you to understand yourself and what you really want in love that much better. What I love about this month for you is that sense of purpose and of power, is that sense of understanding what's worth it and what isn't, and is that sense of healing any emotional issues that get in the way of you and genuine prosperity as you define it. And that is key. Knowing that you are abundant because you say so, and because you say so, you actually get to see it. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week by logging on to astrofabulous.com or nadiyashah.com. Sign up to be one of my superstars. Superstars get expanded exclusive video scopes every week. Plus they get unlimited access to special horoscopes as well. All of that in the superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.